to do the week 7 vital signs video for fundamentals. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing you would do is walk in. My name is Carissa Williams. I said to my patient, I'm gonna do your nurse today. You can perform hand hygiene. I would ask to see my patient's wristband and have her 2 identifiers. You tell me your name and your date of birth.
Diane Williams, February 23rd, 66.
Okay. She knew, that was correct. It matched her band. Then I'd ask her, do you have any allergies?
No.
Okay. No medicines, nothing like that. Okay. I will provide privacy, but we're gonna pretend like we're in a little office. So I shut the door. We're all good. I would perform hand hygiene, like I said. I would tell the patient what we're doing today. We're going to be taking your vital signs. This is just a baseline. We're going to make sure that everything in your body's functioning normally, and all those things would check out like they should. I'd ask her if she has any questions. Do you have any questions that you're taking the vital signs? Okay. I would ask that she doesn't talk because you kind of have to listen to a lot of things you're doing vital signs, and then you breathe normally. Although sometimes I think telling people to breathe normally makes people think about breathing too hard, so maybe you don't want to say that because then they think too much about your breathing when you say breathe normally. Anyways, so I'm going to assess my patient, make sure she didn't have anything hot or cold to drink recently. No, because that would affect taking oral temperature. I would make sure she doesn't have an AV fistula. That's where her arteries and veins are kind of merging together. She doesn't have that. I would make sure if she had a mastectomy, because that can affect some of your vital signs or taking, if she has any smoking, and if she had fingernail polish. She does not have any fingernail polish on. All the nail salons are closed, quarantine, so doesn't have her nails done. I would clean my equipment. What do we do with those wipes? Over here. We're just using baby wipes right now because the only disinfecting wipes we have is like Clorox, so we don't want to use those. So you would wipe down your equipment that's going to be on the patient. Wipe those all down. Mine's just my mom, so this hasn't been anywhere weird. So I'm not going to clean too hard. Okay. So that you would do all that to clean all your equipment, and I would then assess my patient's pain. So are you feeling any pain?
No.
If she was, you would say where, what does it feel like? Is it stabbing? Is it like a dull? Is it like aching? Does it go in and out? Is it intermittent? Does it like stop? And what things may make it feel better? So it's like if you have a sore throat, that's pain, and you drink something hot or drink something super cold, it relieves that pain. So those kind of things. And so now we're going to do the different types of temperature. We're first going to start with oral. We don't have an oral thermometer because everybody gets, fancy ones now, like those temporal ones and stuff. So we're using a little cute plastic toy one that came in my son's doctor kit. So you would, some places have those little plastic sheaths that go in on top of the oral ones. So you probably would have that on there. This one doesn't have one on there. So sorry, Mom, I'm going to put this in your mouth. It goes underneath her tongue, and you press the on button or whatever the one does, and then you hear an auditory beep, and you would know that's done, and you would check whatever the thermometer says. Usually she runs a little bit colder than normal. Usually hers is at like a 97. It's still within normal range, but hers is usually like a 96, 97. So we did the oral temperature. We're going to do her ear. We're pretty sure she has an ear thermometer, but we're pretty sure it actually doesn't work. So we're just going to be doing the motions. This has the plastic covering on here, and it comes with them. It is removable. You would turn it on. It says start, I don't know. Okay, actually the on button's right here. You turn it on. You would pull the pinna, it's back, up, and out. Sorry, I'm pulling a little too hard now. And then you would place it in there, start the button, and it gave me an auditory beep. It didn't tell me anything. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it works, so it didn't tell me anything. I can try it on myself though. See if it works. It says I have 99. I don't know if that's correct, because usually I'm right at the 98, but we'll try another one. We'll try yours again. So I think I don't know how to use this one. Okay. Out, up and back. There you go, 98.7. It does work, you know. Okay. So that would be her tympanic temperature. And then you would take off the plastic thing and throw it away. Now we're going to do her auxiliary temperature. We're going to use this same little plastic toy because the thermometer usually looks the same. You would place it, or roll her sleeve, place it underneath their underarm, place this down, put their arm across their chest to hold it in there. It would make an auditory beeping sound once again. You would remove it, and you'd be like, oh, there's temperature. It's much more accurate to do oral or temporal temperatures. Auxiliary aren't that great. They're off a little bit of what your normal temperature. Really, rectal temperatures are like the most accurate, but nobody wants to do that. They don't have to. But temporal is definitely probably the best one. So her temporal thermometer is a little bit different. It is like a light. It's like a laser light. You don't drag it across your forehead. The one we have at my home is the drag one. So you start in the middle, you drag down across their temporal artery, and then you also can go all the way down and around and place behind the ear. This one does not do that, but we're going to I just showed you the motion that you do for that temporal temperature, but we're just going to use her little laser light one to show you how this works. So see, it has like a little light on her forehead. You place it right in the middle. This one says 97.2. I don't know if this is any more or less accurate than the one you actually drag across, but it's pretty nifty. You don't actually have to touch anybody to do it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and so we did all the temperatures. Now we're going to check her radial pulse. We're going to have our little timer. I forgot to put my watch on, so I'm setting my phone for 30 seconds. You'll do the radial pulses, and you'll check them at the same time. And you want to check for rate, rhythm, strength, amplitude, whatever you call it, and regularity. So here, we're going to just relax them. I'm going to start my 30 seconds. And then you, so you did for 30 seconds, and whatever your number was, I got 31 within those 30 seconds. You multiply that by 2, so her pulse was about 62 beats per minute. So really, so you do the radial, unless it's irregular, you just leave it at the 30 seconds that you did. So I would say hers is 2+ because it's normal, it's regular, it's good amplitude. But to check respirations, because you don't want to freak people out and make them irregularly breathe, like I mentioned before, you'd actually keep pretending like you're doing this. We'll start another 30 seconds, and we're going to pretend like we're doing her radial pulse, but really we're going to watch her respirations. So I'm going to do this again. We're going to start. I got 6 within 30 seconds, so you multiply that by 2, it would be 12. That's within range 12 to 20 respirations per minute is normal. It's a full inhale and a full exhale, and that's what I was watching her do, and she's within normal range. Then we're gonna do her blood pressure. So we got this blood pressure cuff. Well, my mom got this blood pressure cuff at Walmart, so it's actually not bad. So it does not have a little thing that says where it should be. It doesn't have like a little pointer like the ones at school do, but we're doing our best here. We're gonna do it on our left arm. That's the one that's closest to me. We're gonna hook our little thing on there. Okay. Get my stethoscope out. You wanna find her brachial artery. Relax. I found it earlier, spot on. Okay, there it is. We have our brachial artery. We want to hold the stethoscope with our non-dominant hand because we want to pump up the blood pressure cuff with our dominant hand because it's easier to then release with our dominant hand instead of fumbling with your non-dominant hand. So we're going to place this over here, your non-dominant hand. We're going to make sure this is that pumping?
Yeah.
Okay. Pull that back down. Making sure it was turned off, it was all the way closed so I can pump up. And we're going to start pumping. And we're going to slowly release. The first sound you hear is the systolic, and hers is about a 110. She takes medication for her heart and stuff, so her blood pressure is usually kind of low. And then the last sound you hear is usually your diastolic, and hers is about a 70. So it's within her normal range is usually where she's at, and it's still within normal range of anybody else. It's good. She doesn't have high blood pressure. She's not hypertension stage 1 or anything like that. So. Then you would remove this. Oops. There you go. I'll put this away. Blood pressure is good. So now we're going to do her pulse ox. We're going to use the lovely chip clip because we don't have a pulse ox in here. Most times you would turn on. Ignore my mom's dog dropping a toy. We're going to. You don't really turn on a machine. Chip clip does not have a machine. So we're going to make sure she doesn't have any nail polish. We're going to check her skin. It's warm and dry. We're going to check her capillary refill. And it's all less than 2 seconds, as it should be. It's good. Normally you place it on the index fingers. So we're going to put it on her index finger. Like I said, she has no nail polish on. Sorry, Mom, this probably hurts. Okay. You would keep it on there until the machine beeps, or if it's like a small little one, it would beep. And it should be within 95 to 100%. That is normal range for your oxygen saturation. So after we did all that, we're going to say hers was normal because it should be. My mom doesn't have any breathing or respiratory issues. You would go back and clean all of your equipment off. Make sure everything's wiped down. You would use sterilizing stuff or disinfectant, disinfectant stuff. We're just using baby wipes. And make sure all is clean. You perform hand hygiene. You would ask if anything came up while you were, having this. If you had any pain, anything came up during it. If you were in a hospital setting, you would lower the bed, put up the rails, lock the wheels, put the call light within reach, and then make sure once you leave, you're documenting your findings, or you're doing it in the room. If you have like a computer or like notepad set up, you're documenting your findings. and making sure all that is written in the patient file, and then you're good to go.